So hello everybody, how you doing? And welcome to the channel. If you're new, welcome back if you love me. We're going to do an almost personal reading today, which means we're pulling Pineapple Charming charms. I gave Pineapple Charming a really good shake off camera. There's thousands of charms inside of Charming. If one or more of the charms resonates with you, there's probably something in the message for you, whether it's the message in its entirety or just one thing that clicks and you're like, that's why Spirit guided me to this message, right? So we're going to pull some charms, see who this read might be for. Hey Rita, how are you, beautiful? And then we'll get into the read. All right, that's good. Thank you, Charming. 'Tis always a pleasure. I love Pineapple Charming. I made him out of a big ice mountain water bottle, like the big gallon ones, and bought like a obviously odd orange pillowcase cover from Temu. So cool. I fucking love Charming. All right. So charms. I've got one of my mood clouds. So this is our chilly mood, which means it's feeling cold, right? Not like physically cold, but emotionally cold or shut down in some way. And or you may be feeling like someone else is being cold towards you, right? That being around them is like, what the fuck? Like there's no love or warmth coming from them. You know what I mean? So the cold cloud, the snow cloud could be a couple things. I've also got a corgi. So you may be a dog person or may specifically have a corgi, especially if they've got like a cute little heart shape in their fur or something. If you got fur babies. Doubling down on hearts, we have two connected hearts, one right side up and one upside down, right? Hey, Lala, how you doing? I've also got the heartbeat, as well as, what other hearts do I have? Do I have any other hearts here? Yes, I do. I've got this one. So this is the silver pink heart in chains, which represents feminine or yin energy, regardless of gender. And it's not necessarily romantic with it being pink. It's probably more platonic, friendship, or family based, right? Soulmate based, not necessarily romantic. So you may be dealing with someone who's very close to you, who you care about a lot, right? Who's strong feminine energy, right? Big receiver. And it's toxic, right? It's toxic in some way with the chained heart. So we've also got, and now mind you, it could be someone you were romantically involved with at one point, but you're probably more in the alignment of love as friends versus love as partners, right? It's kind of like, the love is familiar, but it's not necessarily like, I love you, but I'm not in love with you. It's that kind of energy too. So let's see, we also have a green maple leaf. So you could have maples growing in your yard. You could be experiencing the summer or the spring, right? Coming into that time of year, especially in the Northern Hemisphere. We've also got bells. So you may live near a church, right? Hear bell synchronicities, bicycle bells, something like that. You could also have a memory around Christmas or Christmas bells or something. We've also got a stethoscope. I believe that's what they're called. Rita, you'd be able to tell me for sure. Where you listen to someone's heartbeat and their breathing and stuff. So you may be in the medical field. There may be a medical issue if there's two different medical charms out here, like the heart beat and the stethoscope. You might actually have like heart palpitations or feel shortness of breath or something like that. And, you know, if you haven't gotten it checked, maybe you should. Maybe you should. I'm not a medical professional. Don't take medical advice from me, but trust your body and what you're feeling. We've also got the magic carpet charm. So it always reminds me of Aladdin, obviously, but it could be just Middle Eastern in general. So you might have some type of ancestry there or family there, or maybe Aladdin was your favorite movie. Maybe you resonated a lot with Jasmine, right, or something. We've also got 444, so you may be seeing that often. 444 may be coming up with you frequently as far as a synchronicity. We also have the Luna Moth. As a synchronicity, we also have the red rose as a synchronicity. So you may have roses. Someone may have recently bought you roses. You might have a memory of them involving flowers or something. You could also be a fan of Beauty and the Beast, right? Anything synchronistic to red rose. You might have the word rose in your name, right? It could be your first name, middle name, something like that. Or something similar like Rosamond. So we also have like this cool purple metallic star. So purple stars may be significant. This one's got shimmer. We also have a pink rocking horse. It's a unicorn rocking horse, but pink, so baby girl energy. We also have another unicorn that's, well, free, right? They're not bound to the rocking horse kind of situation. It's another unicorn and they've got a black mane. So 2 unicorns. Letters, I've only got 1 letter bead. It's a pink H. So H may be significant to your name, right? Initials. H could also be a hospital, right? Because we're very familiar with the H, like the blue circle H for hospitals. We also have the sign of Taurus and the sign of Gemini. So if you have Taurus or Gemini in your big 3, or they do, or what is going on in Taurus and Gemini right now may be affecting your chart, right? If you have strong fixed or mutable placements and it's around either the very, very beginning of the sign, right? Because the sun now is at 4 degrees or 4 or 5 degrees Gemini. Jupiter's at the end. Taurus and Mercury are at the end. Mercury's about to cross into Gemini if it hasn't already. Let me check that for you guys. I'm jamming out the Fleetwood Mac in my ear, so if you see me just kind of bobbing to myself, I'm listening to Fleetwood Mac. Let's see. Yeah, Mercury is about to transit into Gemini. It's at 29 right now. Okay. So if any of those charms make sense to you, maybe you have you could have any of these tattooed, right? You can have tattoos of any of these things, heart tattoos, death is like medical tattoos, bells. You can have any kind of tattoo out there. Snow or ice tattoos, you know, so purple stars. Take it how it resonates, guys. All right. So with that, what is going on for you? What is going on for you? Rita and Lala, I love you so much. What is going on? We're pulling Harrow. Those of you not familiar with Harrow, it is from the world of Pathfinder. They are Dungeons and Dragons cards. The guidebook speaks in Dungeons and Dragons terminology. I'll translate it into real life. So let's see what's going on. Let's go. There's not another living soul around. Till the sun comes up and you say that you love me. Okay. The eclipse energy is so damn strong, guys. For really, I look over and the eclipse sun card is sitting on the top of my hand-drawn deck. We got the eclipse card come out in this deck as well. All right, total solar eclipses. I've got the unicorn here. It came out upside down, so misalignment is what we'll read for that. And then we've got the hag and the keep, which is a really ugly combination of cards. Anytime something good like the keep comes out with something awful like the mute hat, I'm like, ugh. Hate that energy. The owl is on the bottom. That's been popping up. And the rabbit prince is on top. The rabbit prince is on top. Let's pull these hand-drawn cards. Clarify the eclipse, please. Preferably not with the other eclipse card. Resonating, not surprising. Yeah. Honey jar in the reverse. Clarify the unicorn reversed. Clarify the unicorn reversed. The star reversed. Mute hag and the keep. Clarify it further, please. The comet. I feel like what? That's Chiron. I just felt like that was Chiron. Sometimes people classify Chiron as a comet because as it goes through its really odd, like elongated elliptical, when it does get closer to the sun, or it's not like super far away, but it's closer, it can actually form a tail like a comet. So some astrologists, well, or astronomers, I guess, would classify it as a comet. They don't know what the hell to call Chiron. Some people call it a dwarf planet. Some people it's just a large asteroid. But as soon as I saw that comet card, I felt like it was Chiron. Let's get a vibe check. What's the energy alignment? I'm going to pull my energy alignment cards. Where's the energy alignment with the eclipse? Where's the energy alignment with the eclipse? Trustworthy. It came out in the reverse, but it is in the upright light. So this person, I think they might backstab, but it's not their intention to backstab. So we'll see what's going on more with them. Clarify the unicorn reverse with the star reversed, please. Relationship oriented. And abandonment wounds, self-sabotaging. Okay. Clarify the mute hag and the keep with the comet, please. Oh, Jesus. Egocentric, unreliable, validation seeking. Okay. All right. Let me read this eclipse for you. The eclipse. It's lawful evil. It represents self-doubt and loss of purpose. This card afflicts those with faith in the divine as their talents can wane under the stress. It can also indicate a loss of way along a path. It can also indicate a location, a concealed location being revealed. Interesting. If it's misaligned, which I'm only reading because the honey jar is in reverse. Yeah, it could mean a concealed location being revealed or some kind of ability coming to the fore. But whoever this individual is, I'm taking that out for a second. Whoever this individual is, they've been stung, okay? The honey jar in the reverse is not about the sweetness of life. It is about the sting of the bees, right? This person may feel like all the sweetness in them or everything trustworthy in them is eclipsed out by the circumstances or outside of them, right? Like they could be a phenomenal person. They could be trustworthy. They could be loyal. They could be honest. They could be considerate. They could be dependable, right? They could be all of these things. But because the rest of the world is fucked up for the majority of the time, like people look at this person like maybe they're only doing this to get what they want later. You know, like they're doubted by the outer experience. And maybe it's because they doubt their own self or their own purpose being different, right? This is someone who has faith in the divine and it wanes under stress. So this person, I mean, I guess you could say whoever this person is, they are an angel, you know, like they are an earth angel. They are in alignment with spirit. They're in alignment with the good of life. The way people probably could, should, would be to each other. It's probably very natural for this person all the time. And they probably have a really hard time holding on to their faith that there's good in God or good in spirit, like there's good in the universe, and not giving into the very mundane game that people play with each other here. You know, I feel like this person's been eclipsed out by the evil of the world. Let's get more on them, right? The unicorn is chaotic good. In reverse, it would be lawful evil. The unicorn is a card that generously offers that which the subject seeks, just as the charger in the picture offers up its fruit. When misaligned, the card means betrayal, poisoning, or a false friend. We talked about that with the charm, right? The pink and silver charm, a false friend. The unicorn is generous and willingly has and gives to whomever needs what they have, right? They're a very generous person. So this individual, they're relationship oriented in the light, right? They're relationship oriented, but they're not healed. They're not healed with the star in the reverse. They do have abandonment wounds that are self-sabotaging. I think this person gives to get. I think this person just simply gives to get. They build relationships and give to build relationships because they want to get. They don't want to lose people, right? So they give, and they probably overcompensate with what they give to make people indebted to them, right? You can't hurt me because you owe me. You can't hurt me because I'm good to you. You can't hurt me because I'm always there when you need it. So you at the very least have to be somewhat decent to me, because if you need things and you're not decent to me, I won't give it to you, you know? So this person has a fear of abandonment, a fear of rejection. And so they probably overgive in order to prove, right? Prove that they are not like everybody else, but they are. And it might be what the eclipse person is falling victim to, right? They're constantly being shut out because they can't just be a good person for the sake of being a good person. Everybody thinks they're doing it for some bullshit reason. So they probably were like, okay, well, maybe if I do a whole bunch of good things for somebody and don't ask for anything in return, they'll believe that I'm genuine. It doesn't work like that, though. You know, I feel like we do have somebody who is definitely overcompensating or being super, super false with their intention. Consciously or consciously, they might not be consciously aware of the fact that that's what they're doing, right? Over giving because they're afraid of losing people. They might not genuinely be aware that that is what they're doing, but it is what they're doing. They're trying to stand out from the crowd. See, I'm not like everybody else. This person just wants to be fucking loved the way they love people. They want to be seen. But they're in a fucked up world, right? They're in a fucked up world. The mute hag with the keep. The mute hag is neutral evil. The mute hag might be silent, but the eye she holds lets her see into the hearts of men. This hag invokes blood pacts and poisonous secrets, the kind that turn brother against brother and son against father. It's a card that performers loathe, and that leaves them stumbling over their words and songs. It screams blackmail. Right? The mute hag screams blackmail type energy. power and control. Like, I have power and control over you. I know things. I have secrets. And if you don't want to, you know, don't want these secrets out, then I suggest you stay off my bad side. The keep that it came out with is neutral good. It's a symbol of quiet strength, one that can move when necessary, yet stand firm through the greatest hardship. Those represented by the keep are not shaken by any force. So this person, especially coming out with the comment, right? Chiron wounds, when you connect with somebody who highlights your Chiron placement, you are so magnetically drawn to them. You're so magnetically drawn to them. It's unexplainable. It's like that love at first sight, right? It's like that love at first sight, but it makes you nervous. It makes you nervous. There's two different kinds, okay? There's love at first sight, and it feels like the best thing in the world that's super safe. And then there's this love at first sight that it makes you a little nervous, right? Because you know how drawn you are and what you're, in a sense, what you're willing to give and sacrifice to to experience some of it. This person's, they can move when they need to move, but they are an unstoppable force, right? I feel, especially with the shadows, because it came out with egocentric, unreliable, and validation seeking, which means you can't trust this person to follow through on their word. Like, oh yeah, I'll get it in 5 minutes, and they don't. Oh yeah, I'm going to run this, that, and the other on this day, and I'll be there this time, and I'll pick them up at this hour, and I'll drop them off at that hour, and I'm going to give them this. Like, they will not follow through on things. They're constantly seeking validation. Like, tell me that I'm a good person. Tell me that I'm not a bad person. You know, I don't want to feel guilty, right? Or they'll literally say things like, oh, I'm such a bad person, just so that you say, no, you're not. It's okay. Don't feel that way, right? They seek validation. They want to be the competent one. They want to be the smart one. They want to be the top of the top, but they don't act that way. And everything revolves around them, right? Egocentric. It all comes back to them. Like, they could ask you, how was your day? And be like, oh, I had a great day. I'd be like, well, and they would respond like, oh, well, I'm glad you had a great day because I didn't. You know what I mean? Like, it just goes right back to them. This person knows things. They're probably hyper vigilant about tone and body language and choice of words when they talk to other people. Because if they're validation seeking like that, they're probably listening into clues in body language and tone and choice of words with other people to figure out what, like, knowledge is power, right? They're trying to figure out what knowledge they can deduce from interacting with you that would give them some kind of power over you later, right? I was just watching a channel I really enjoy called Women of Impact. She's based, I believe, out of Australia, and she's incredible. She has great guests on her channel and things like that. Like, she talks a lot about, you know, different issues that support identifying like cluster B personality type behavior and how they take advantage of people who do not, right? Quote unquote, normal people who do not deal with antisocial personality disorder, narcissism, sociopathy, psychopathy, BPD, right? There's all these different things that she says. Essentially, you can train yourself to see the signs. I think this person is quite the opposite, you know, of a person who would be seeking out how to identify. This is the kind of person who is seeking out ignorance. They seek out ignorance and those who are naive. All right, how is this all tied together? We're going to start with the Celtic Tarot. And the rabbit on top, the rabbit prince on top of the deck is interesting too, because like the owl on the bottom is signifying there is something that binds the two of you together, but the same thing could easily pull it apart. The rabbit prince is about, you know, you might not win every battle, but sometimes you just kind of have to bide your time and pick and choose your battles. You know, you can't just willy-nilly run in there with a broken sword. Like, you might have to figure out some other way, right? Sometimes you got to go. I got the 8 of Wands. 2 of Coin reversed. Ace of Swords. Page of Wands, 2 of Wands, Ace of Coins. Give me some clarities, please. 2s and 1s may be significant. Got 2 pages out here now. Star in reversed. Star reversed is out twice in reverse. 9 of Swords. 5 of Wands. Like the unicorn eclipse, if they are in the same person, right? If they're the same person, the mute hag keep comet person number 3 seeks out people like them. Seeks out people exactly like them. Wheel of Fortune. I got double 2s, double 1s, double 5s, double 8s. 7 of Cups is on the bottom. Temperance is on top. All right, so strong Sag is out here. We've got Aquarius out here. We've got Jupiter out here. Yeah, someone's confused. As to how they couldn't hold on to it. The 7 of Cups with the Tower, the 4 of Cups, the Empress, the 6 of Coins, the Justice card. Really, the Magician and the Moon. This is a different deck. And we've got the Magician and the Moon back to back. And that happened earlier this week. The Magician and the Moon back to back. Someone was manipulating in shadows. Had provider energy, or they were financially responsible. That reminds me of the Rakshasa. Look at this King of Coin, right? There's a man or a figure, right? Sitting underneath the king. It looks like the king is sitting on him, right? It looks like the king is sitting on him. Now, if I get into the Rakshasa, same thing. Same thing. Yeah, someone's confused on how they could keep it. And to be fair, if you were once in the eclipse energy, right, where you knew you were trustworthy, you knew that you had some value, right, you knew that you were healthy, you knew that you weren't trying to maliciously hurt anybody, and then got completely fucking demolished, right? The unicorn reverse, star in reverse, or being relationship oriented because you just didn't want to feel alone. You didn't want to feel alone, like you were the only decent person in the world. So you probably trusted the mute hag. Super, super shadow, right? Trusted the mute hag because they were hunting your energy. Whether they realized it at the time or not, like they were hunting for exactly your energy. And then eclipsed you, right? Eclipsed your light. I think you know with the Eight of Wands, because this is what's going on right now. I think you know with the Eight of Wands that someone wants to talk to you. You're getting that inkling. Someone wants to talk to you. Doesn't have to be like a big major conversation, but they at least want to talk. The Two of Coins in the reverse with the star in reverse. This person has not healed shit though. Nothing's healed. And that could be in the mute hag. That could be in you as well. It might not be healed yet. Like you might be aware of it, but actually like wisdom application to make sure you don't do it again. Like you might not have had practice at that. So you might be aware that you have an abandonment moon. You might be aware of the fact that you sabotage yourself and want to be accepted and want to trust, right? But you don't necessarily trust yourself to make that judgment call with new people yet. Right? It's not quite healed. You don't quite trust yourself. You're aware of it, but you know you haven't healed it, which is why you're trustworthy in reverse. You're not quite trusting other people. Makes you nervous. It would trigger you to self-isolate, right? While you rebuilt that trust within yourself. It's a common process. Like I myself have done it. Like I have gone through isolation where I knew I was in that energy, knew there were people like the mute hag out there. I was like, I need to get right between me and me, that I trust I can identify this stuff, right? I trust that I can identify it. Went through isolation, right? Went through isolation. It takes time. And if you are not familiar with Women of Impact, I so recommend going over to that channel after you're done here, you know, and checking out her videos because the content's incredible. The Ace of Swords with the Nine of Swords, like, yeah, the truth is you're fucking nervous. It's high anxiety. Page of Wands, Five of Wands, like you didn't reinvent yourself to fucking be in conflict with yourself or other people. You don't want to bicker. You don't want to fight. You don't want to have to defend yourself. You don't want to have to defend why you feel the way you do. You don't want to have to beg for attention, beg for consideration, like all of those lower vibratory bullshit things that we deal with in relationships when they're misaligned, when they're not healed. Truth is, you have a lot of anxiety. You have a lot of anxiety about being new and putting yourself out there. Do I stay or do I go, right? The Two of Wands is a choice point. And right now, you are more inclined to continue to self-isolate with the Five of Swords. You are more inclined to continue to self-isolate. Especially if someone is showing up with mute hag energy. Especially if they're telling you to be quiet. Shut up. Listen to me. Stop for a second. Let me stop you there. We'll come back to that. They're talking over you or continuing to talk through you, right? And you're just like, this is not a one-way conversation. Even if I'm speaking, you're not listening. It's a one-way conversation. Like, you're speaking to me and want me to listen, but it's not okay that I speak and you listen. Like, it doesn't work like that. The unicorn, at the end of the day, is still relationship oriented. Like, they don't want to lose people because it hurts. It sucks to lose people. But I don't think they're desperate enough to tolerate the mute hag shenanigans, because I feel like someone would rather walk away and isolate from the mute hag and start a new foundation, right? The ace with the wheel of fortune. Like, fuck this, I'm out. Fuck this, I'm out. I'll walk away. And they might be a little broken, right? Like the rabbit prince has a broken sword. His sword's broke. He fought hard. And the battle is sometimes lost. But I think you walk from it if you haven't already. Like, you're pure souled, pure hearted. You're not dumb. And there's a difference. I think some people, like the mute hag, thought because you were kind or considerate of them, saw the wounded self of yourself in them, you know, wanted to heal them, help them, be there for them, supportive of them. Just because you're kind doesn't mean you're fucking dumb. Doesn't mean you didn't know every time they lied to you. Doesn't mean you didn't know every time that they omitted something and were keeping something secret and they weren't telling you something. It doesn't mean you were dumb and couldn't see when something was off or not right in the pattern of things. Like, I don't know, they came home 20 minutes, 30 minutes late every fucking day for 6 months. Out of nowhere. And they never did that before. And then all of a sudden it stops. Why? Like, you're not dumb. You're not dumb. Like, my ex would straight up tell me, like, yeah, you know, my boss needs me to stay over an extra 20 minutes, half an hour. It's a lot of work. But when he would text me during the day, I'd be like, how's your day going? And he's like, boring, dumb, there's nothing to do. But all of a sudden, you have to stay 20 minutes, half an hour late because your boss needs you to stay over for what? For what? You've been bored doing nothing all day. And this is all the time. But every day, last minute, you guys stay an extra 20 minutes, half an hour. Then all of a sudden, me and you have a real conversation. A real conversation. And all of a sudden, it's not happening anymore. And you're asking me, well, there's just one more time I have to go and have lunch over at the office. Like, so you can end it with so-and-so officially because you and I are working it out now. You cheat and fuck. Like, you think I'm dumb? You think I'm dumb and I don't see exactly what the fuck you're saying? You know, it's that kind of energy. Like, just because my heart is big doesn't mean I'm fucking dumb. Just because I don't say anything doesn't mean you're getting away with it. Right? I think the eclipse and the unicorn dealing with the mute hag, I think you dealt with somebody who literally tried to play you like you were dumb, right? Play you like you're dumb, cause you anxiety, cause you stress, be provider energy. Make sure that you need something from me so that you don't go anywhere, because this person also has abandonment wounds. They don't want you going anywhere. They want to treat people like shit in their unhealed self. They don't want to fix it. They don't want to fix it, but they know they need people, right? Relationship oriented as a shadow. They know they need people though. And they don't want you to go anywhere. So I need someone who's needy and or desperate and or dumb because I need them for something. I'm only one person. I can only be in so many places at a time. And I do want to stay after work for another 20, 30 minutes and get laid. So the person at home can cook dinner. I don't have to be home 20, 30 minutes earlier to feed myself. They could do it. I don't even have to worry about my laundry because they could do it. I don't have to worry about cleaning the tub because they can do it. I don't have to worry about going shopping or getting my oil changed because they could do it. you, right? Fuck you. And I think it's a reality check for people. Like, this is real. Like, people exist like this. Just because you're not like this doesn't mean people out there like this don't exist. I didn't know people like this existed out there until I fucking met one. I thought most people were like me, empathic, honest, considerate, like genuine. I went through the world ignorant as fuck. Like, aren't most people like me? No, in fact, most people are not like me. Most people will tell white lies. Most people will, do selfish shit or ignorant shit or manipulate people. I don't resonate with that shit at all. There's all different kinds of people out there. You are probably someone very different, someone very trustworthy, someone very relationship oriented. You're probably a really good person who dealt with a lot of shit from people that were supposed to love you. They're supposed to love you. And you're out there trying to find somebody who will fucking love you in a world full of people who are just dead inside. They're just dead inside. Yeah, 100%. 100%. Hey, Risa, how are ya? Yeah. And it's so important. It's so important that we do have these conversations, right? Whether it's here on my small little channel or somewhere big, like Women of Impact. Like, it's really important that we have these conversations and inform each other, because they're not teaching you this shit at home. They're not teaching you this shit in school either. Life is teaching you the hard way. And maybe you cross somebody like myself or like, Women of Impact, you cross something one day and you're like, what? This is a thing? This is real? This happens? Oh, and I'm not alone? What is a narcissist? I know I've heard the word before, but really, what is it? And people start to educate themselves. How else did we get here? Yeah, the wake-up call. It's crazy, right? It's crazy. Like, wow. I would have never pegged my mom as BPD, just running through life. And I studied psychology in high school. We went over different personality disorders. I learned a little paragraph's worth about BPD. I wouldn't have been able to apply that to real life and be like, oh, so that's what that looks like. So that's what this word looks like in action. That's what gaslighting looks like. Like, I could read gaslight in a definition of a whatever, but you don't really know what gaslighting is unless someone puts it into a scenario and or you've experienced it multiple fucking times. Your ex taught you what it was? Yup. Because you start looking. I started asking people. I was in high school. And I was so fucking upset. Because my mom is not well. She's not well. Mentally, like, she's not well. Psychologically, she's not well. And I sought out a counselor at high school. Mr. Mancini, I sought him out. He's retired now. But I asked him, I was like, is this normal? Because, you don't talk about family stuff. It's private. Like, you keep family in the family. You don't bring outsiders into the family. Like, this is family business. You don't talk about family. But something was so off. And I'm like, I don't think this is normal. So instead of talking to friends and shit, I went to a counselor. Because I was like, at least they won't say anything, right? And he was like, your mother sounds BPD. He goes, I haven't talked to her personally, but from what you're describing, she sounds BPD. Mentally noted. Ended up in college, right? Had reconciled different things with my mother along the years and ended up in college for the first time. And my mother pretty much was telling me to go unalive myself. It was the night before I had midterms. I was supposed to be studying. A whole ordeal went down. I think I've told it before on the channel, so I'm not going to get super, super into it right this second. But she pretty much told me to go unalive myself. and that she wouldn't care, she wouldn't cry, wouldn't come to my funeral. Good fucking riddance, right? Go unalive yourself. Make sure you do it right. Make sure you do it right so they can't fucking revive you. My mother is saying this shit to me in the phone and describing how I should do it. Okay? My mother. I'm a mess. I end up bombing my midterms, right? I bomb my midterms. I mean, how do you even study after your mother tells you to go unalive yourself? And that she don't fucking care about you. No one does. And no one will. I was a mess. I bombed my midterms after getting straight A's on the preliminary testing, right? After getting straight A's on all of the initial tests throughout the semester, I bombed midterms to where my professors were like, what is going on? Like, how do you go from getting the highest score in the class? You got a 97 on your stat exam. How do you go from that to a 23? And I said, this is how. Like, there was no way for me to recover my grade. That's the first time I dropped. But I went to my counselor, right? I went to my counselor and I told them what was going on because they're like, why do you want to drop? I said, this is why I want to drop. This is what I'm dealing with. The counselor at my college, mind you, I didn't mention Mr. Mancini. I didn't mention that anybody called my mom BPD or suggested that she was BPD in the past. She goes, you know, your mother sounds like she might be BPD. I said, what? She goes, yeah. She goes, same thing. I haven't met your mother, but from what you're telling me, she sounds like she could be BPD. That was the second time I sought out counsel, and the second time someone said that to me. Fast forward to 2015. I had reconciled with my mom over the years. There was time where we didn't speak in between, but I had reconciled with my mother in between. Mind you, I never took the time to really look up BPD the first two times that someone had said that to me. I didn't bother looking it up. I was like, that's interesting, right? It's interesting. Ended up in a car accident. Get to talk to a therapist for PTSD post-accident, right? I end up talking to her about my fucking mother the whole time. Because my mother didn't even believe my injuries were real. She thought I was exaggerating it and making it up. Despite the fact that I had my doctor print out a packet of all the different visit summaries that I had and all the different shit that was going on in my body that was all fucked up from the accident, right? She didn't believe me. I'm talking to this therapist and I'm describing my mother and she goes, you know what? Your mother sounds like she's BPD. And I said, you know what? You are not the first or second person to say that shit to me. I said, but I don't understand. She goes, give me 1 second, grabbed me a book. She goes, you can't keep it because I need it, but you can borrow it. She said, I want you to read the first chapter. It's a questionnaire. She said, answer the questions as honestly as possible and then get your answers at the end. It'll tell you. The book was, Are You Living with Someone Who is BPD? Now, I am deep into chapter 1 of this book. And I'm answering the 50 questions, the 50 multiple choice questions. And I'm just like, oh my God. Like I felt like some of these answers, I felt like I was reading my life. She was flying colors. According to my answers in that book, she was flying fucking colors, BPD. I looked way into it after that. And I stopped talking to her after that. I cut her off for good. It's been almost a decade. You have to start educating yourself. I did not see the signs and symptoms until I started educating myself. How it looks in women is different than how it looks in men. You have to research this stuff so that you can start healing, so that you can trust yourself, right? As the eclipse person, as the unicorn. So you can trust yourself because there are a lot of shitty people in the world. Not all shitty people, but there's a lot of shitty people. Even 1% of the entire world is a lot of fucking people. It's like 800,000 people or some shit. You know? It's a lot of fucking people that are like true shitty people. And then you have everybody else in between who will do shitty things because they don't know any better. Everybody else does. Everybody else tells a lie sometimes. Everybody else sneaks and takes the last thing in the fridge that wasn't theirs to eat sometimes. If you've had siblings, we've all borrowed each other's clothes at least once. Didn't ask. Maybe you stole your sister's perfume or your brother's cologne because it was there and you liked the smell of it. You didn't want to use yours, so you took a couple sprays of their perfume, didn't say nothing. Oh, it doesn't matter. I don't have to ask. It still ain't your fucking perfume, though. And you shouldn't be touching it if it's not yours. Well, it doesn't matter. It's just a couple sprays. Yeah, you're right. It's just a couple sprays. It probably doesn't matter. It's the point, though. It's not yours. Would you like it if someone used your shit and didn't ask? Right? People do little things all the time because they think it's no big deal. They cut someone off in traffic because it's not a big deal. People do it all the time. It's fucking rude. You can cause a lot of anxiety in somebody. You know? Cause them to freeze up or brake too fast. Like, there's reasons why there are rules on the road. I think whatever you're dealing with this person, I think if they come back, I don't think you are ignorant enough. I don't think you are ignorant enough or desperate enough to welcome this person back in. I think you are more inclined to try and help them heal again. Like, would they be back in your life full blown, like you're living together, calling each other every day, seeing each other, hanging out, borrowing stuff off each other? No. I wouldn't say this person's back in your life. But you might still feel responsible to help them heal. Which is a major distraction from your own healing. Let's call a spade a spade. Because the more you fingers cross and hope they heal over time with this little teeny bit that you're giving, you're going to be willing to give just a little bit more. Until you're full-blown giving again. This person will slowly build it back up over time if they have to. But they will get you from answering your phone and responding to a text. They will get you from that, fast forward 3 years later, to letting them borrow your car, letting them borrow $1,000, trying to bail them out of this or that situation, calling you up at 3 a.m, help me with my breakdown, right? They will be taking everything that you will let them take. And they'll just accept that you're starting with responding to them. Because you still hope that they heal. But there's something about cluster B personality types that don't really get better without serious therapy. Like, they need a really good therapist. They need to start breaking it down. And some of their behavior patterns, like their go-to patterns or their defense mechanisms, will kick in. Like, their defense mechanisms are different than mine. Their defense mechanisms might look like blowing up and getting angry. My defense mechanism might be to freeze and isolate, right? We have different ways of dealing with it. But I think that this person really needs to become self-aware and that not everybody in the world is like them. They might have met a lot of people like them, which is how they became who they are. To survive, right? To survive people like them. They became that way to survive people like that. It's kill or be killed. If I do not break down and destroy this person and take what I can from them to better my life, they're going to do it to me. I have to be bigger and stronger than them. Mentally. I have to beat them psychologically, or they're going to break me down and use me. Right? This person became that way as a defense to protect themselves. How do you tell somebody your way of protecting yourself is wrong if it's kept them that way and safe? It's kept them safe. They haven't been heartbroken. Everybody else around them has, but they ain't. They would rather be the one breaking hearts than being brokenhearted. You can't knock somebody for figuring out a way to protect themselves that works. What you can do is deal with your own wounds and find a healthy way to protect yourself, including developing your intuition, including developing your skill sets as far as IDing things like body language or tone of voice change, or asking yourself questions like, why are they asking me that question? Like, one of the examples I was watching, a guy was talking about on, it was the Women of Impact channel, right? Guy was sitting there as a guest speaker, and he was explaining like there was this woman where, or she was explaining it to him, but either way, that's irrelevant. So one of them was explaining there was a woman started dating this guy, and she was up because she heard a sound in the middle of the night, like 2-3 o'clock in the morning, coming from her garden. So she got up to go see what the noise was in her garden. And when she pulled back the sliding curtain, there was the man that she was dating, fresh and new, right? Brand new guy. She was dating. He's dressed in black. It's really fucking weird. And she's like, and he puts his hands up like, look down, you know, like, look down. He brought flowers and chocolates at 2 o'clock in the morning while she's supposed to be sleeping. And at first, like, she was a little shook, but she was like, okay, like, he was going to surprise me with chocolates and flowers. Like, his intention was sweet. You have to be able to stop and ask the question, what does that really say, though? What does that behavior really say? Like, you couldn't send her flowers to work. You couldn't bring her chocolates over in the middle of the day like a normal person. What he was telling her was, I can get to you whenever I want. I can get to you whenever I want. That's what he was saying. If I want to be at your house at 2 o'clock in the morning, you're not safe. I'll be here at 2 o'clock in the morning. That's what that behavior says. It's not normal. It's not sweet. It's not romantic. A strange man that you just met, just started talking to, showed up to your fucking house at 2-3 o'clock in the morning when you're supposed to be sleeping and is rustling around in your fucking garden. Like, that ain't a red flag. But we negate it and we ignore it because, you know, we don't want to lose this person. We did have really good conversations with them, right? They might have been really charming. And they did bring flowers and chocolates. Like, they were trying to be sweet. Maybe they're just odd. Maybe they're just odd. Well, he ends up eventually stalking her. And I think eventually it led to an attempted murder, an actual murder. You know, like, the signs were there. The signs were there. You know, we got nursing stuff out here. Psychopaths love hearing it. Oh, you're a nurse? Why? Why do they love hearing that? Because you're a person of empathy. You're a person of compassion. That's what they're hunting. That's what they're hunting. They're hunting that kind of energy. All right, cool. So she's empathic. She's compassionate. And they start to figure you out. How many times do they ask a question before you change your no to a yes? Did you stand your ground when you said, no, I'm going home by myself? They're like, oh, well, come on. It's fine. You know, well, maybe we could just walk for a while. Oh, all right. You know, it's like giving a guy, like, maybe as a female, I give a guy a ride home, right? Maybe he had a couple too many drinks at the bar. And I'm like, well, let me drive you home, you know, like, save you the money on an Uber or something. Like, I'll take you home. And he's like, well, why don't you come in? And I say, no, it's okay. I'm just going to drop you off and let you go. And he's like, oh, come on. You know, we were having a great night. Like, maybe we can have another drink. Like, and maybe I say no again. He's like, all right, well, I'm going to do this. Are you sure? Are you sure you don't want to come in? Like, I'm just going to let the dog out. I'm probably going to stay up a little while. Sure you don't want to come in and just hang out? I don't bite. And maybe on the third time, I'm like, you know what? Fine. Maybe just for half an hour. He got me to break. How many times did I say no before I finally broke instead of holding my ground, right? People like the mute hag will test people like the unicorn and the eclipse. They'll test people like that to see where the boundaries are, to see how they can manipulate you. They do it without even thinking. It's second nature. It's second nature. Yeah. Yeah, you got your shit together. They could depend on you for things. Yup. 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 And then anything and everything they can do to start whittling away the different people that you trust, to isolate you for them. Like, they can move. They can do whatever, but they will always be in the way. They will always be in the way of the people that you love. People don't even realize how they get sucked into these dynamics. And it starts on the first date. Like, that's what people are trying to teach us. Like, it starts on the first date. Go educate yourself. This must be the huge lesson with this read. The huge lesson with this read. Go fucking educate yourself. Don't walk through this life ignorant. The information's out there. The information's out there. If you're catching this message, I guarantee you, you're dealing or have dealt with someone who has serious psychological things they need to heal in this life or the next. Someone needs professional counseling to help them understand why they do this. And you have to be well aware of your Chiron placement so that you don't get zoned in, locked on somebody. Because Chiron will do that. Chiron, you'll see this person and it will feel like the whole world stopped around them. It'll feel like lightning shooting through your body. Tingles, right? Goosebumps when you see them. And you're like, who is this person? They're a Chiron lesson to address your abandonment wounds. That's what they are. It's a painful lesson where you martyr yourself into the fucking ground, into oblivion, and damn near completely lose yourself in the process. That's what it is. That's what that person is. That's what that person is. They're a Chiron lesson waiting to happen. They're a Chiron lesson waiting to happen because you don't know your fucking worth. You've got abandonment wounds. That's Chiron. Chiron is abandonment wounds. Chiron did not know who his father was, wasn't close to his father because his mother was raped, and was so disgusted with Chiron when she gave birth to him, this beast, that she literally threw him away like trash. And he was picked up by Zeus or Apollo or something and taken in. But he was discarded like trash from his mother. You want to get involved and deepen your Chiron wound? Start examining your relationship with your mother. Start examining that one. Do not let yourself fall victim to this cycle. A little bit of awareness, a little bit of reflection could easily get you out of it. The rest of the work happens in the flow of things. All you have to do is become self-aware enough to stop getting sucked into the vortex of it all. You know, it's like that Halsey song, I would have followed you to the graveyard, right? Her song Graveyard. The butterflies are the warning sign. It's exactly that. She's singing about Chiron. Listen back to Halsey's Graveyard and you will understand Chiron differently. You will understand Chiron differently. You know, I was thinking about it. Me and my quote unquote counterpart, I've told you guys before, his Jupiter placement in Gemini blew up my Chiron placement, magnified it. When I started working at the company I was just with, right, I grand opened their new store and all of this stuff. Guess where Jupiter was when the store grand opened? Guess the store's birthday, right? It's alignment. Jupiter and Gemini on my Chiron. Martyred myself into oblivion. I had no life. My health was taking a toll. My soul family, you guys missed me for how long? Jupiter and Gemini. Killed my fucking Chiron. Blew it up. That was the birthday of my store, Jupiter and Gemini. On my Chiron. Don't fuck with Chiron. Do not tempt it. If someone has something like Jupiter magnifying your Chiron placement, I promise you it's going to feel like magic when you meet them. It's going to feel like magic. You're going to wonder if they're your person. You're going to do everything to prove that you are their person to them. You are going to martyr yourself into the fucking ground, and it will be for nothing. It will be for nothing. You will walk away drained and empty-handed, period. Period. Chiron suffers. Suffers. Know your chart. Know your chart. Know your chart. Do not be dumb walking through this life. Don't be ignorant. Don't be ignorant. Don't be fingers crossing. Trust things. Trust things that you can see. I trust the astrology. If I don't trust myself, I know I've got wounds. I know that those triggers are there. I could heal it all I want. You know how I trust myself? I trust the astrology. I will not fucking date nobody with Gemini placements. I don't care what it is. Gemini Mars, Gemini Venus, Gemini Moon, Gemini Sun, Gemini fill in the blank. I won't fucking date it. I will not date it. I will be your friend. We could be great friends. I get along great with Geminis. I do. I love them to pieces. But I will not fucking date them. I will not date them because of how it affects my chart. A Gemini might be extremely lucky for someone else. Best person in the world, earth angel to someone else. For me, they're the embodiment of my wounds. And I can't go there. I'm not beat. I'm not beat. No more. No more. Been there, done that. It's a deal breaker for me. It's a deal breaker. Oh, you're really not going to date somebody just because they have a Gemini Venus? Damn straight I ain't dating nobody with a Gemini Venus. I bet your fucking ass they would cheat on me. I bet your ass they would cheat on me. It would put Venus in my 12th house. And if they'd never cheated before, I would be the first person they cheated on. And it would break my fucking heart. And I'd be upset because they fucking had Venus on my Chiron. No, thank you. No, thanks. The stars don't fucking lie. Time don't lie, and neither do the stars. Because they're connected. Time, stars, truth, it all comes out in time. Why? Because they're all connected. I trust the astrology through and through. It has never failed me. Never. Never. Know your fucking Chiron placement. You don't deserve that. You don't deserve that. That suffering, that martyrdom, to feel abandoned, you don't deserve that for the beautiful energy you give. Having your Chiron placement blown up will bring out the absolute best in you. It will bring out the best version of you. You are your most powerful in your healing. You're most powerful in your healing when someone's blown up your Chiron. You give the most beautiful energy. It will not be returned to you. It will not be returned to you. It will not be reciprocated. It will not be appreciated. Right? It'll hurt like hell. It'll hurt like hell. Hey, Mikey B, how you doing? Yeah. Oh, I love doing charts, and I'm constantly learning and pulling together new stuff. So I would love that. You sent me some information, Rita. I still have it in my email. I haven't even had a chance to go back and look. I'm still putting all kinds of things together. I was thinking about it the other day, back from November when we did the giveaway. Like, I got a lot of shit. I still have so much shit to catch up on. But yeah, I think if you caught this message, it's because someone up there, if you got angels, spirit, whatever you call it, fucking loves you, and they don't want you beat for the rest of your life. They don't want you beat. They don't want you to be down and out. They don't want you to be sad. They don't want you to feel alone. They don't want you to feel abandoned. They don't want you to feel like you can't trust life and people. Spirit does not want you hurt. Spirit doesn't want you hurt. God, source, spirit loves you. The universe loves you. It just gave us choice. We could experience this or we could experience that. We could experience joy or we could experience pain. What do you want to choose? I look at the astrology of it. I look at that. Someone having some shit in my 12th house. I look at that as a pain party. I'm not going. I don't do pain parties no more. You know, like I'm not in college. I don't do keggers. Like, I don't do pain parties no more. I'm too grown. Too grown for that. I don't have time for that. Where's my fucking e-cig? We don't have time. Life is limited, you know? This life is limited. We only get this lifetime once. We get multiple lifetimes. We only get this one once. I do not want to spend it in the middle of a goddamn pain party. I'm good. I'd rather be sitting at the pool or on the beach with my soul family who loves me. Your chart is your birth chart. Your natal chart. Yeah, you can look up your natal chart. I use an app called Astro Gold, but astro.com, Astro Deindist, Cafe Astrology, like there, you could type in like Google like free birth chart generator, and you can type in your birthday, birth time, birth location, and it'll tell you where all the different planets were when you were born. And mind you, there's a whole bunch of other things that you can look up, like there are asteroids. You can get into, you know, deeper into fixed stars and where they fall in your chart and how they aspect and things like that. But it's good to know. It's good to know where the fuck your Chiron is, you know? Like, for real. I will not fucking do it. Like I said, I love Geminis. Like, shout out to Christina. I fucking love Christina G. You know, shout out to Tanya, who is a Gemini moon. Like, I fucking love Tanya. Y'all know how much I love Tanya. And it's just, you know, I love Gemini and energy. I just can't romantically get involved. I can't martyr myself into oblivion. I have to have that check and balance with myself. You know, I have to have really strong boundaries. Oh, it goes even deeper. There's different kinds of astrology. Like right now, like I was studied originally on Western tropical astrology. The more I dive into astrology, the more angry I get at tropical astrology, because it's just so fucking inaccurate as far as like where the planets actually are. Tropical astrology, okay, means that in the year 0, they froze the sky. They froze the constellations on the celestial equator. They froze it at 0 AD. So Sag is the same every year. It's the same next year, right? They froze the constellations in place. The reality is every 72 years, the chart clicks backwards a degree. Every 72 years, it clicks back 1 degree. So what was 27 degrees Sag in 0 AD, they're still reading it as 27 degrees Sag today in tropical. The reality is 23 degrees Sag, what was at 23 degrees Sag in 0 AD, now in 2025 is 0 degrees Sag. There's a 27 degree gap difference. Like, I'm not a fucking Sag stellium, according to Lahiri, which is a Vedic form of astrology and counts for that degree, right? Counts for that degree click back every 72 years. It's more accurate. It's more accurate as far as where the signs are and where the planets are. I'm going to go deep. I'm getting deep into Lahiri because it's just fucking accurate. Like, if you were to look at the stars today, tropical astrology will tell you it's at 4 degrees Gemini. Lahiri will tell you it's in fucking Taurus. The sun is actually in Taurus. If you look at the sky, the sun is rising with the constellation Taurus. It's not rising with the sun in Gemini. It's rising in Taurus. It's Taurus season, technically. Literally. But tropical astrology will say it's Gemini season. Okay. Depends on what you follow. Like, there's all different kinds of astrology. There's all different kinds of astrology. It gets so deep into certain things. Like, there's certain combinations of stuff. Like, the fact that I have my stellium, my sun is within 10 degrees of all the planets within my stellium. And there's something about that. The fact that it's between, that I have Mercury between my sun and my Saturn means something. My moon is out of bounds, wildly out of bounds, maxed out of bounds. I don't have any other planet out of bounds. But there's something called a declination and inclination, right? There's declination. So my moon was outside of that golden whatever. It was considered out of bounds, which means I tune into things that other people don't. My moon being Cancer rising, like I'm moon ruled. My rising is at 6 degrees Cancer. It trines exact to my Pluto in Scorpio. And then I have a 29 degree Cancer moon that trines near exact to my Venus in Scorpio, 28 degrees Scorpio. So like I'm water dominant, even with a Sag stellium, I'm water dominant because of how influential the moon is in my chart and how influential Cancer is in my chart. You know, so the fact that my moon is out of bounds, you don't think I know the people across the world will consistently call me crazy my whole life? Because I tune into shit that they're like, no way. I'm like, yeah way. Yeah way. I knew my ex was cheating just because I started dreaming it. I started dreaming it and I knew why. And when I said something to him, he's like, well, it's a good thing it was just a dream. Sweetie. That's cute. It's okay. I'll let you believe that I believe you. I'll let you believe that. I trust myself. People don't even know. I got fucking superpowers. Okay? I have fucking superpowers. Yeah, I have a son. I'm going to be 40 this year. Yeah, I'm going to be 40 in December. Mm-hmm. I highly encourage you to get familiar with your chart. At least the basics. So you have an idea. If all you knew was your Chiron and avoided people blowing up your Chiron placement like the plague, that would help you a lot. Personally, I like finding people with other mutable energy, especially if it's Sag, to oppose that. My Sag stellium is not super keen on Pisces or Virgo energy. Not because I don't like them, but because my energy seems to come off a certain way to them. Like to Pisces, I'm way too insensitive. Piscean energy loves me up until I stop giving a fuck and start burning things. And they're just like, oh, you're so fucking insensitive. No. I'm like, I don't fucking care about your feelings right now. I don't. Because if I'm cutting you off, it's for a reason. You know, I don't have time to explain this shit to you. And then I've got, Virgo on the other end because I'm so fucking erratic. And spontaneous being a Sag. They can't fucking stand me after a while because they just want order. They just want to plan things. They just want details. I'm like, let's wing it. And they're just like, are you sure you don't want to do this or that? I'm like, no, let's go. They can't stand me after a while. I got way too much Sag. So I really appreciate people with other Sagittarian placements. One, because they understand me. Two, because they tend to benefit from my Sag stellium and vice versa. And it opposes my wounding, which means they won't let me martyr myself that way. They're like, no, you don't got to do that. Really? I don't have to martyr myself to prove that I'm worth sticking around? They're like, no, I fucking enjoy you. Why would you martyr yourself? We're cool like that the way it is. I could hang around Sag all day. I could hang out with Sag and shoot shit and laugh and joke and be creative and do fun stuff all fucking day. Know your chart. That's why I kind of love Taurian energy. It opposes all the crazy shit in my Scorpionic house. I appreciate thoroughly the dependability and consistency of Taurian energy because my Scorpionic house craves it. Craves stability. Craves it. I just want consistency. I want predictable. Because I'm not those things. Because I am not those things. I'm not predictable. You know, like you can rely on me. If I make a promise, I will follow through with my promise. I won't make it if I can't keep it. But how many times have I said, you know, oh, I'm going to do this or I'm going to do that, or maybe I'll do this or maybe I'll do that. And then I've done everything else, but I'm ADHD as fuck. Like, ADHD as fuck. Consistency, I will consistently be loyal. You want me to consistently be asleep in bed at 10 o'clock with you because that's the time we go to bed? I can't guarantee that. I'm not that consistent. I'm probably more likely to be up until 2 or 4 or 5. I might even stay up till 7 a.m. and sleep for 4 hours, you know, like I don't, I'm not consistent in some things. And so I need somebody that's comfortable with that, not insecure. I had one ex who was like wildly insecure because I would go to bed at like 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. He didn't like it. He's like, why are you up this late? He thought I was talking to somebody else, like talking to another dude. And I'm like, I'm not talking to anybody. Like, you can go through my phone. You have the password to my phone. I'm not hiding anything from you. I play Game of War. Like, these are my alliance members. You know, like I'm the R5. I'm the fucking, you know what I mean? I'm queen bitch. My alliance. Like, I have to communicate with them and talk to them. Half of them are on the other side of the world. Like, this is when I talk to them. He was convinced I was cheating on him with somebody from fucking Europe. And I'm like, why? It's like, look at my phone. I don't care. Pop on the call. Say hi. Get to meet them. He's like, no. You know, I need someone who's as consistently inconsistent as myself, who gets me and understands me. I'll stay single. I'll wait. Someone who can match me in honesty and integrity. Yeah, I'll wait. I'll stay single. I'll wait. I'll hold out. I'll wait. You know, and I want to instill that for everybody. Like, please don't settle for people who make you question yourself and doubt yourself in any which way, shape, or form. Surround yourself with beautiful people, including just yourself. If you are the only person around and you are in the prime of your isolation reset, then be the best person in the mirror reflecting back to you that you can. I'm a huge advocate of having mirror conversations and having positive conversations with yourself in the mirror. Like, you might not be feeling your best today, but you could still wink at yourself. Be like, you sexy bitch. When you're done leaving the bathroom or something, like, just, if you catch yourself in the mirror, just say something nice to yourself. Like, my hair is fucking crazy today, okay? My hair, I woke up this morning. I looked like a troll doll. Had been neglected for years. I woke up this morning, my hair was all kinds of sweat, just in all different directions. I was like, oh my God. Still looked in the mirror and said, I love you, crazy bitch. I fucking love you. Still had that conversation with myself this morning. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't matter. Just fucking love who you are and your energy and have those positive conversations with yourself if no one else is going to have it with you. No one's waking up next to me this morning and saying, hey, beautiful. I don't have that person in my bed. So I wake up and I look in the mirror. I'm like, hey, beautiful. Just do it for yourself. Do it for yourself. I still will randomly buy myself flowers because I just fucking like flowers. I deserve flowers and I don't need to wait for somebody else to buy them for me. I like flowers. They're beautiful. And when they dry out, I get to use them in all my little herby things. You know? Let's get a guidance card for all this. Let's wrap this up. Let's get a spiritual as fuck card. Yeah, wait for what's worth it. I'll wait. Yeah, I'll wait. And I'm sure whoever ends up fucking catching my attention, legit, they were probably holding out and waiting for me too. I would not doubt it at all. And I hope they appreciate a little bit of humor and some fun, random, crazy shit because I bring it. I bring it. You might wake up and find that I have torn apart half the living room and decided to make a shelving unit. Wake up to the sound of the drill going off and you're like, shit, Grace is awake. Grace is awake and she got the drill. What is going on? That's me. That's me. All right. Guidance. Oh. The moment you start acting like life is a blessing, it starts feeling like one. The moment you start acting like life is a blessing, it starts feeling like one. It says, get grateful, get grateful, get grateful. If you're looking for answers, the easiest fix to any problem is to start with gratitude. Look around and name something that's awesome. Do you have a truly amazing cat? Fuck yeah. What's awesome about that cat? Aren't you glad it's alive? Do you hate cats and don't have one? Isn't that amazing that you don't have to live with one of those little furry creeps? Okay, now keep going. Like gratitude. Gratitude, gratitude, gratitude. The moment you start acting like life is a blessing, it starts to feel like one. Like I've talked about it and I will drum it home multiple times how grateful I am for all of my exes. I learned a lot, all Chiron lessons included. I'm very, very grateful. I will absolutely also tell my ex to respectfully fuck himself and fuck off. Do not come back in my life. Please and thank you. Wish you nothing but the best. Stay the fuck over there. How can I be grateful and tell somebody to fuck off? It's simple. I learned. I'm grateful for the lesson. I don't want to fucking repeat it. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I hope you heal. I hope you live happily ever after. I hope you find some, if I'm who you want and I don't want you, I hope you find someone exactly fucking like me that loves you the way I did. I hope you find them then because I'm out. You know, I could say thank you for all the lessons and respectfully go fuck off. You know, go fuck off. Don't call me. Don't call me. We're done and over. We're done and over this life, you know? Like, I don't harbor any ill against you. Don't wish any ill against you. Don't want anything bad to happen to you or the people that you love. I hope you live your best life. Stay the fuck away from me. You and your fucking Jupiter that lands on my Chiron. Fuck off, respectfully. I'm good. We're not going to give an inch so that we can lose a mile later. Right? So with that, guys, I hope you enjoyed the live. Thank you to everybody who popped in and subscribed to pop into the chat. I know there's that 2-minute like buffer to be able to chat, and that's just to keep the riffraff out, like the trolls and shit like that. So thank you all for subscribing and chatting with me. I appreciate your presence. Yeah. I have so much fun being a Sag. I get a lot of shit for it, but I don't fucking care. It's the beauty of being a Sag. I don't fucking care. Oh, there are worse things in life than being fucking judged by fucking earth signs. Earth signs judge us, fire signs the fucking worst. Oh my god. They do like, I could never be like that. They're so irresponsible. No, we're so much fun. We're so much fun. Anyway, I'll see you guys later. I'm gonna try and probably gonna take a shower and try and fix my fucking crazy ass hair. It was so fucking crazy. I was like, I'm not wearing my hat again. I'm not doing it. I was like, I hope my hairband's cover enough of it. It was so fucking wild. Oh my god. The next time I wake up and it's that fucking crazy, I will take a picture and post it in the community tab. I will post it under the post and y'all can see what the fuck I gotta look at in the morning. And I'm still saying, I love you, bitch. You know, it's all good. You guys have a wonderful day. Enjoy your weekend or your extended weekend if you're here in the States. I know it's Memorial Day weekend up here. I'm probably going to be out driving. I'm probably going to do Uber and Lyft and stuff like that on Monday. Help people get to where they got to go and stay sober. Or at least stay safe if they're not sober. So But I'll still go live because Monday's moon event. If you guys want a private reading with me for the moon event, please make sure you check out the Etsy shop and do that. Please make sure you go and get your reading. The deadline is Monday morning at 6 a.m. It is Central Daylight Time. If you did not buy your reading for the 26th by that time, it will go towards the next moon event. All right. But don't miss it. The theme for it is it only matters who submits. It only matters who submits, and it's so much deeper than you think. That theme is going to go way deep. So if you haven't booked your personal reading with me yet for that event, they're only $22 in the Etsy shop. You can have a reading with me. All right. I will see you next time, guys. Bye.